Mike Evans is the wide receiver 12 on the week. He is the highest ranked, consensus ranked wide receiver for the Thursday night game. And Mike Evans is playing against a secondary that has allowed the most wide receiver points to most wide receiver points on the season. But as I mentioned, they get Marlon Humphrey. Like, he's going to probably match up against Marlon Humphrey. And I am concerned about Mike Evans hitting the ceiling game, partly because Baltimore has done better lately, but also because he may be on the right side of questionable, but he was struggling with some injury. It looked like a knee or a hamstring injury. So I wonder if Mike Evans is going to be able to be the wide receiver 12, right? There is the range of rankings for Mike Evans in a half PPR. It ranks all the way from wide receiver 7 all the way down to wide receiver 39 is the lowest. Wide receiver 39 is the lowest ranker on Mike Evans. I'm not going to go that low. I think that is a way too low on Mike Evans, but I also think wide receiver 7 is pushing it. Like, could he get there? Sure. But Mike Evans, looking at what he's done this season, has pretty much hovered in like that wide receiver 14-ish range, right? That's where he finished week 7 against Carolina. He went 9 for 96 on 15 targets. But he also finishes the wide receiver 16 week 1 against Dallas, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 71 yards. He has finished as the wide receiver 1 overall, but we've also saw 2 bust games. He finished as the wide receiver 51 against New Orleans. That's a tough defense. And finished as the wide receiver 46 against Pittsburgh in week 6, 4 for 42, no touchdowns. Mike Evans does have 3 touchdowns on the year. He's the wide receiver 14 going into week 8. So I think moving him down to like wide receiver 14 is going to be fair. I want to have Amon-Ra St. Brown moved ahead of Mike Evans, but that's just, I think, being a little ticky-tacky. I'm not going to move Mike Evans too much more away from wide receiver 12. I think that 12 to 14 range is fine. A high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1 going into week 8.